Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Navs and Nico podcast. I'm your host, Naveen Ganglani. We are going to talk about the big weekend UAAP games on this episode, including the final matchups for each teams that have helped us determine who will play in the UAAP postseason, the knockout game for the fourth seed, and then the final four ensuing that. We're going to have Nico on again to talk about everything that transpired. A lot of great conversations coming up, I'm sure. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, the Cleaning Coach.
When it comes to cleaning a home or office, most people just know the basics. Mopping the floor, wiping off dust and dirt is pretty standard. While all that can make a place look clean, it doesn't mean it is clean. Making a place truly clean and virus-free requires a professional help. That's where the Cleaning Coach comes in. The Cleaning Coach provides outstanding general cleaning, commercial cleaning, post-construction cleanup, upholstery cleaning, floor, carpet cleaning, aircon cleaning, and disinfection at a very reasonable price. The Cleaning Coach and his team will do all the scrubbing, dusting, polishing, disinfecting, and sanitizing, so you won't have to. Making your place look clean that you can also smell and feel. You will experience the difference. Now that's stress-free cleaning to a better normal, done professionally by the Cleaning Coach. Contact the Cleaning Coach today to learn more.
Okay, Nico, we're here. We have our postseason set. I know technically we're not in the Final Four yet because we still have a playoff technically to determine who will get the fourth seed. But I'd like to think of the knockout game, the playoff for the fourth seed, as part of the Final Four, as part of whatever your version of the UAAP playoffs is, right? Because to me, I mean, you can even make a case that the games this weekend were kind of Final Four-ish, to get to the Final Four. But when the playoff takes place on Wednesday to determine the fourth seed, that's going to feel like a Final Four atmosphere. So, for yung mga OCD dyan who might tell us after, oh, why are you guys previewing the Final Four? The Final Four isn't even set yet. Well, you know what? It's going to be the same stakes anyways. But if you're not happy about that, well, honestly, I don't really care. All right, so Ateneo and Adamson are going to face each other on Wednesday, ironically at 2 p.m., not a prime time slot, 2 p.m. at the Mowa Arena to determine the fourth seed. Yeah, so between Adamson and Ateneo, so many things had to go right for Adamson to get to where they are. First, they needed to beat NU on Wednesday. They needed Ateneo to lose to LaSalle, and then Adamson needed to beat UE. All of that happened. Am I surprised that happened? I did not, because for some reason in the UAP, when there's a chance for more intriguing possibilities, it just feels like
It
the
just is
universe
gonna happen,
conspires
right?
to make it
It
happen,
feels like it's
right?
just gonna
It
happen.
happened last season when Adamson and LaSalle had the playoff for the fourth seed, which Adamson won. And then it happened again this season with Ateneo and Adamson going to face each other. Result of that game pending. So, number one seed goes to UP. They are 12-2. It's the first time ever in the Final Four era that the UP Fighting Maroons are the number one seed in the elimination round. So kudos to them for
Really?
that. Yes, sir. First time ever.
Wow.
UP's two losses this season. They went 12-2. Their only two losses this season were the game against Ateneo that went to overtime, where Mason Amos went off in the overtime period, and that game against DLSU that was close down the stretch, where they didn't have Malik Diouf or nor JD Kagulangan. And
Ah, pala wala nga.
I know I've been getting a lot of criticism and flack online from, people who are saying, oh, whatever they're saying. First of all, I'm just putting out facts out there. That's just facts that JD and Malik didn't play. Yes, Evan didn't also play in the first round LaSalle UP matchup, but LaSalle did lead that game for the most part in the first half, and they could have won it at the end too. Just because I say that UP did not have Malik or JD in that second round game, that does not take away from the accomplishment of what LaSalle did. And if you go back to my posts from that game itself, you will see that I was still very complimentary of what LaSalle accomplished, even if UP did not have its main guys. So for you nitpickers out there who have nothing better to do than to find one out of the 10 things that you can nitpick on that you think is negative, well, you know what? Why don't you just all review everything I post before you guys start bringing out the fake anger and acts, okay? Now back to the original point. It was an impressive win for UP. I mean, impressive elimination round. Considering that they lost Tamayo, that they lost Lucero and Galinato, three key pieces from the roster, and they went 12-2 this season, beating every team in the process. I would say that is very impressive. They're a worthy number one seed. LaSalle is also a worthy number two seed. They were just incredible all season long. Sure, in the early goings, LaSalle had some, struggles keeping leads, maintaining leads, same issues from the last few seasons. But they won their next 8 games to end the elimination round, swept the second round for the first time since the last year of the Ben Mbala era. And they are playing incredible basketball right now. Kevin Kimbao is worthy of whatever you think an MVP is supposed to be. Topex Robinson has developed such a great trust and chemistry and camaraderie in this team. Guys know their roles. Even Mark Nonoy is starting to look like the UST Mark Nonoy of before. And that is a development for LaSalle. That's something worth monitoring as we enter the Final Four. It's a deep team. Guys know what they're supposed to do. Defense is solid, offense is solid. And LaSalle, I think safe to say, Nico, in my opinion, at this point, as we enter the Final Four, UP and LaSalle are just in a tier above everyone else right now, right? I don't think
I
there's
would agree. I
I
would
don't
agree.
think there's separation right now between UP and LaSalle. Before the season started, I felt that UP had more talent as a team. I feel like LaSalle's talent has caught up to UP and they're fairly even. But I just think right now, both those two teams are just on top of everyone else. I think they're on a tier of their own. And then in the next tier, I think Ateneo is the third best team in the league right now. I think NU is behind them at 4. NU has, for the second straight season, NU has fallen
Really?
off
You have
another.
NU behind Ateneo
I
as of
yes,
after
I think
that game kanina.
I think Ateneo is playing their best basketball of the season. Now they lost to LaSalle, but that's also because LaSalle is playing their best basketball of the
Actually,
season
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Now
yeah,
that you
and
said it.
yeah. But Ateneo, if you think about the way Obasa is playing, the way Balunga is kind of rediscovered his rebounding prowess, the way other guys are contributing now, and the defense is a little bit better. I think Ateneo is third best team in the UAP right now. I think NU is 4. I think Adamson is 5. Those would be my power rankings. But the third seed belongs to NU because even if they faltered late in the season, injuries played a role in that. They still had a strong start. They did sweep the season series against Ateneo, and they will be the number 3. They will face off against a LaSalle team with a twice to beat advantage. And now Ateneo and Adamson, the winner of that game, will take on UP with UP having a twice to beat advantage. So quick schedule idea. Wednesday, would be the playoff at 2 p.m. for the fourth
Mhm.
seed. Saturday, first game, 2 p.m. will be UP versus whoever wins that playoff. And then 6 p.m., separate tickets. Sa Araneta naman to, LaSalle and NU will start their Final Four. Nico, that is what our Final Four plus number 5 picture looks like.
Well, nga, parang kanina na again, we were talking about this a while ago when we saw each other in the tunnel. We were like, parang the Final Four already started today. With regards, I mean, not formalities, but with the way the games have been played. Grabe talaga. And I really can't wait for Wednesday. I can't I'm planning to watch the women's Final Four na rin nga eh. Which will be in the
Mm-mm-mm.
same venue. It's 9 a.m.,
Yes,
11,
sir.
then 2
Yes,
o'clock.
sir.
So sabi ko, maybe I'll just come early and watch the games as well because it's also fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a great Final Four. And the NCAA Final Four is going to be exciting also. I know that we haven't covered the NCAA much on this podcast, but
Set na ba Final Four nila? Parang hindi pa rin
Hindi pa ata, but we're getting there, and I think that's going to be a battle in of itself because San Beda is solid,
Dude, wild yung
CSB is
kanina.
solid.
Somebody from Letran
Yeah, I saw
through like
that. Yeah,
something
it's
or sinugod niya yung staff ng Letran.
and also
What?
last night in the Ateneo LaSalle game, there were some fan activities that
Uh,
so
ooh,
fans are starting to feel the Final Four vibes in the arena
yeah.
also, for better or for worse. But it's been a wild UAP season, and we're here now. Let's talk about the weekend games. So quick
Game.
recap: UST FEU. Not the best final game of his career for LJ Gonzalez,
Yeah.
but he has had an outstanding career for the Tamaraws. He's meant a lot for that FEU program, and FEU, they have constantly been a program that's relied on bringing up their high school prospects, high school talents, and bringing them to the seniors division, and having those high school standouts continue the legacy of what they were playing in high school in the college division. Over the last few years, I think it's worth noting that FEU lost RJ Abarientos, who went to Korea and then is now in Japan, and he was really supposed to be the next main guy of the Tamaraws program, right? They also lost Penny Estacio, who went to LaSalle and is now at San Beda. And LJ really took the reins as the next main guy of the Tamaraws the last 2 seasons. And I know they didn't experience a lot of success, but I think he still provided them with at least some memories worth remembering, like those 2 clutch games against Ateneo this season. Ironically, LJ doesn't hit that game winner against Ateneo in the second round. We probably don't have a playoff right now. We probably have the Final Four set with Ateneo
Yeah.
being number
Pahinga na
4.
yung Wednesday, di ba? Walang maglalaban on
Or that's
Wednesday.
when the Final Four would start,
You
technically.
think so? They would do that? Like,
I think so.
agad-agad?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know for a fact, but I think so. So yeah, but Patrick Sleet is still there. Cyrus Torres is there. Joric Bautista played really good. One guy who was solid in the offseason but didn't get a lot of run this season was Luke Felipe, which I think is going to change
Oo nga. I
in the
didn't see
seasons
much
to
of Luke
come.
Felipe.
He's a shooter too. He's good. So he's gonna get his run like a lot. And JR Pasaol is coming in next season. He will be eligible starting season 87, and he is a solid player too. So there, UST coach Pido in the preseason press conference said he just wanted 2 wins for the Tigers. They did that. They swept the season series against FU, gets 2 wins. After the game, after the win, Pido kept it, made it, said a few things. One was that, of course, the Adame Faye situation. He did not name Adame Faye directly, but I think if I were to guess who he was referring to in terms of one player not being totally honest with the Tigers, it was the
I'm sure
foreign
it's him.
student athlete and Faye. Yeah, that really screwed up UST season. They needed a legit big man to help them compete against the other teams. They did not have that, but they will have that next season, along with so many new incoming recruits like Fortsky
Do you have any
Padragao, Kyle
idea who their
Paranada,
next FSA
Chase
would be?
Lane. I think it's gonna be Peter Osang.
Si Osang.
Who,
Is it?
yeah,
Hindi ba wing si Osang? Or he's a big man talaga?
he's a 6'7" big. He's gonna play big. If he's an FSA, he's gonna play big. And
Yeah,
UST needs a
okay.
big, yeah. And he's good. I would say he's in the level of Momo Way. So he's someone
Oh,
UST fans
but
should
a
be excited
smaller
about.
Momo way. Because Momo is like 6'10", right?
Yeah, he's not
6'10"?
as big and long as Momoway. Momoway is like 6'8", I think. But he is more athletic than Momoway. And I would say
Wow.
that to some regard, he's a little more polished than Momoway.
Then Momo way?
A little bit more. Now, obviously, Momoway probably improved the last few months having trained with a college program like UE. But I think Osang is, and now 1 year of waiting, playing with Team B, participating in leagues like Pinoy Liga, that's going to help him a lot. And
Oh
UST is
yeah.
going to be
Oo
one of
nga
the
pala.
teams to watch out for next season. I think UST will be a Final Four contender in season 87. Kyle Parnada, like I mentioned, Fortsky Padragao, a few more guys coming in. Jeremy Robinson. They might have new recruits as well. And of course, the holdovers. Maybe Nick Cabanero comes back for one more season. Christian Manaytay. We'll see. There's a lot of time until next season, but a lot to be excited about for USD after the last few seasons. Coach Pido said maraming mawawala from the season 86 rosters. Not a lot of people are going to be kept for season 87. Understandable considering the amount of talent coming in. And he also did say that they will join off-season tournaments before season 87, which they did not do before season 86.
Finally. Finally.
Starting with the Pinoy Liga, which they're already competing in, right? I mean, they haven't
No,
played a game
nag-first
yet.
game na ba sila?
Hindi pa ata. But I know they're going to compete and we're going to
Aabangan
see.
ko yun. I'm gonna watch for
Yeah,
their UST
that's
games.
that's a team to watch out for, the Pinoy Liga. It's going to be exciting to see what the future holds for UST, because we have talked the last few weeks about how great it is to kind of see LaSalle and the community back in a contender status. And you can see the crowd, like that Ateneo LaSalle crowd the other day, Nico, was the LaSalle crowd.
Nostalgic.
Diba? It felt like back in the day, right?
Back
For the
in the day
first
when I
time in
was
a
back in
while.
high school. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like, like they knew eh. The LaSalle crowd knew na parang may panglaban tayo dito. Malakas yung panglaban
And
natin
Nav,
because,
di ba I told you na the Ateneo crowd doesn't usually cheer loud? Pero
yeah.
yun yung, that's the first time in a long while I've heard the Ateneo crowd. Sobrang lakas. Really into it the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Iba
And
talaga. It's
and
like
and
na-rejuvenate talaga.
what I'm about to say doesn't speak for every Ateneo fan, obviously, but it felt like some of the Ateneo fans also, after years, battling it out against the UP fans and the UP crowds, it was like they were welcoming the return of the LaSalle Ateneo rivalry, right? They were like, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's like,
It's nice to see
welcome
you
back, old
guys back
friend.
here, right? And because the last few weeks too, people from Ateneo have been messaging me and they're like, it's so good to see LaSalle contending again. It's so good to see LaSalle
Right?
competitive again. a few of my, closest Ateneo friends have told me this LaSalle team is so likable. And when Ateneo people are telling you this LaSalle team is likable, they're fun to root for, then you know something special is happening. And
Mhm.
something special is happening with this LaSalle team. We have seen it slowly build up, slowly build up. They went through the early challenges. Coach Topex, I guess we're talking about the Ateneo LaSalle game now. Coach Topex, after the LaSalle win against Ateneo at Araneta, said that the last time both teams faced each other at MOA, and after Ateneo beat LaSalle, when he went to talk to his players were expecting him to point the finger at someone to provide the blame.
Really? Ganun yung
Yes,
ini-expect sa
yes.
kanya?
I wrote this in the article I wrote for Rappler. I'm going to post the link on Monday. It was one of the most exciting articles I got to write in a long time. I think you guys should check that out just to kind of get an idea of what the post game quotes were like and the process and the context behind the scenes. But anyway, back to the story. So Coach Topex said that his players were waiting for him to point fingers to kind of put the blame on why they lost on someone. And it was that moment where he told himself, these players are going to know who I am. And he took the blame for himself. And he didn't only do it in front of them, he did it in the public also. Because I remember after that loss, he told the media, it's my fault. I was out coach. I should have been better.
Yan yung alam ko. Yung sinabi niya
Yes,
na sa
yes,
press con.
yes. And something like that, it means something to the players in that locker room. It meant something. It meant something to the whole team. Because it's easy to say, trust me. It's easy to say, I want you to be loyal to me. But it's different when your actions show them, right? Actions will still speak louder than words. And Topex's actions earned the trust. Didn't ask for the trust, earned the trust of his players. And now you're seeing that trust develop with the way the Green Archers are playing together and for one another, being each other's brother's keeper, in Topex's words. Nico, that LaSalle feels like for the first time in a while, it feels like LaSalle is back. Am I right? Am I wrong? I guess the Final Four will justify it, but for one night in a battle against their rivals, in a battle that felt reminiscent of old school years, old school battles of blue and green,
Eh, where you throw all the stats away, right? It doesn't matter what your
throw
record
everything
is.
out.
Hindi mo alam who's number 1. You don't know who's number
Yeah,
4. It's
exactly.
just patas
When
throughout the whole
you
time.
when you hear the chorus of one big fight and Go LaSalle like countering each other, overlapping each other, then it brings you back to memories of when you're in college as a student or when you're a kid, because everyone watched Ateneo LaSalle, no matter what school you came from, UAP or NCAA, or even not even from those leagues. You knew when there was an Ateneo LaSalle game,
Hmm.
and you would tune in, and that energy in the air on Saturday night felt like that. And for LaSalle to pull off that win was what a big step in the right direction for the Green Archers.
Definitely, it showed that they're not the LaSalle of old because of the composure that they showed, right? I'm sure when Ateneo was able to come back and cut the lead down from 9-1, I'm sure that some of the LaSallians were like, here we go again. But iba talaga. LaSalle team in the second round is something else. There's a reason why they're undefeated. And it definitely showed the composure and Evan Nelly being the hero. I would say he's the hero
Good
because
for
of the
him.
clutch shots
Good
and
for him.
the timely passes. Siya ba yung nagpass kay BJ David sa corner? I'm not sure.
That was
Basta,
KQ. That was
oh, that
KQ.
was KQ. But Evan Nelly played amazing during that game.
When Jared Brown hit the 3-pointer to cut the LaSalle lead to 1, right away, I tweeted it out, big shot by Brown, right? Which is he's been doing all season. Didn't have a great game against LaSalle, to be honest, Brown.
Yeah,
I
3
think he
points
only
yun, di
made
ba?
one
Yun lang
field
yun.
goal.
Yun yun.
Yeah, he was 1 out of 9 lang ata. But then someone
12.
tweeted, someone tweeted
Yeah.
at me after Jared shot and was like, dagger, meaning dagger, Ateneo's gonna win this. And in recent years, I would have been like, shit, here we go again.
Ito na. Ito na yun.
But on Saturday night, I was like, feels like they got this. And it feels like they're gonna pull this out. Now, next possession, Evan misses the shot. Ateneo gets the ball again, if I'm not mistaken. Blue Eagles call for a timeout, and right after a timeout, LaSalle gets a steal. And that's one of the most frustrating things that can happen when you're a coach of a team, because your timeouts in the UAP is limited to begin with, right? You call a timeout, and right after that, your team has a turnover. I thought low key, that was probably the most underrated play of the game. How LaSalle was able to force a turnover after Ateneo called the timeout down one. And Evan hits that big shot. Moments later, Mike makes a huge layup. And when Mike makes that layup, puts LaSalle up 5 with under a minute to go, I was like, okay, I think they're going to win this. And they actually pulled it off. Brown misses a half court heave at the end. LaSalle pulled it off. But I think the main takeaway here, Nico, is it felt like LaSalle is back in the UAAP title conversation, not just because of how their guys are playing on the court, and their guys are playing superb. And right now, this team can compete against anyone. It also felt back in the sense that you feel the belief in the air again from the animal faithful in the crowd. You feel the connectivity that they have with this team. You feel the unconditional support that they once again have for these green archers. It's hard to put into words unless you are from the community. It really is difficult. I'm trying my best to explain it. But if you talk to a LaSalle fan, someone who's been following the last few years, someone who's kind of been watching in the sidelines as UP has risen, as Ateneo won championship after another, as Adamson was beating LaSalle in the playoff to make the Final Four, and for them to finally be in a situation like this again where they can root for a contending Green Archers team, the belief is back. Welcome back, LaSalle.
Definitely, it's a welcome back for LaSalle, and I was there for the LaSalle Adamson game last year. Miserable. Now iba yung feeling eh. Parang alam mo yung they're just waiting na matatanggal sila sa race and everything. There's not much support. But now it's really different, and it's great to have the community back, and it's perfect for the UAP. This is peak UAP.
You know, people are gonna tell me I'm saying this because I'm from LaSalle. You know what? I don't care. To whoever will have criticism, screw
Ako,
them.
I'm an Atenean, but for me, I love seeing this
The
LaSalle.
the UAP is better when LaSalle is content.
Yeah. Actually, I
That's
told a friend that one a while ago
yeah.
before our recording.
They're a beast of their own also, eh. And I think people have forgotten that over the last few years, right? Amidst the dominance of Ateneo, amidst the rise of UP, amidst other teams catching up to the competition, LaSalle can be a beast of its own. And I think we're going to see it in the Final Four in terms of the support and the energy from the crowd.
Definitely. And mukhang dehado talaga NU dito. Considering that LaSalle is peaking the right time, while NU is unfortunately trending downwards with their past two games. And let's see if they make it interesting against LaSalle on Saturday. So, but
Oh, I think they can, but I don't know. It wasn't encouraging how NU played against
yun
UP.
nga eh. Yeah, I wish they could have kept it close para there's something to look forward to for Saturday, but I'm like, it's a lot to adjust.
I do think that UP is a bad matchup for NU. Di ba pinag-usapan natin to kanina when we were at the game? We were like, UP probably has the best set of defensive guards in the
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
UAAP. With
mm-mm.
Felisilda, with Kagulangan, with Abadiano, even with Torres hounding opposing guards. And where is NU's strength? It's in their guard play. Baclaan,
Exactly.
Enriquez, Yumamoy, Don Lim, right? NU doesn't really. They have Figueroa and they have Manansalo, who are solid wing players, especially Figueroa. But NU doesn't really have that, big guy who can put points on the board and take advantage of UP's front line when Malik isn't in the game. Because if there's an area where you might be able to attack UP's defense, by the way, UP's defense is so stout. They also played some zone against NU and they just stifled NU's offense with the zone. But if there's an area where you might be able to attack UP, it's in the paint, in the post, especially when Malik isn't in the game. And that's why UP has had some challenges against LaSalle because of KQ's size, because of Policarpius' size, because of Mike Phillips in the paint. Over the years, we've seen like these LaSalle players try to attack UP in the paint. And that's why we've also seen them have some challenges against Ateneo this season, right? They split the season series against Ateneo because of Balungay's size, because of Kuhn's size, because Credo can come in and use that size to his advantage. And Obasa is no slouch either. Obasa
He's
will have
huge.
exactly, and Amos also can be a factor. He could, bust up your zone defense real quick with his shooting. So NU just doesn't match up well against UP. But I do think that NU matches up better against Ateneo and against LaSalle.
They do.
Does that mean I think NU can push LaSalle to the limit? I think NU is capable of pushing LaSalle to the limit. Like, would it surprise you if NU beats LaSalle on Saturday? It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me as
If
well.
I mean, take note, these two teams played each other in overtime in the first game of the season, in their first game of the season against each other, and NU pulled it off in OT. Although I think right now, just LaSalle is speaking at the right time. NU is slipping a little bit. They kind of lost their momentum. And it's tough because it's the second straight year it's happened. Last season, NU was 9-3, season 85. They were on their way to possibly competing for a twice to beat advantage, and they lose their last two games of the season to LaSalle and then to Adamson. This time around, they are 10-2 first 12 games, and then they lose to Adamson, giving Adamson life, but also losing, and then they lost in blowout fashion. They were outscored by UP by 40 points in the two games they played each other this season. Nagjo-joke tayo, can NU beat UP by like
By
39 points to
39.
get superior quotient? At a certain point in the fourth quarter, napapatanong ka na, yung UP ba yung tatalo ng NU by
By
39 points?
39.
Diba? So, it's not encouraging, but at the same time, I think that is still a very good team. NU, I think they're a well-coached team. I think that Figueroa particularly plays well against LaSalle. So he's someone LaSalle will have to take note of. This was Steve Nash Enriquez's first game back after his surgery. And usually when you come back from surgery, those first few games, you won't pop up right away too. So can they catch up? Can they get back to playing NU basketball that they were in the middle of the season, the early part of the season, to make it tough for LaSalle when they face each other in the Final Four? We will find out.
Definitely. And bilis ng UAP no, Nav. In a matter of few weeks, it's done. And we have to wait for another 10 months again.
It felt like an eternity.
It's such a great season. It's such a great season. Pa-reflect ako. Like, wow. It's already November. This fast. I wish they could like put more games or something. Like, it's just as a fan, I'll miss it. Kasi ang ganda ng drama, ang ganda ng storylines.
Yeah. Someone did tell me though, next season, I don't think they're gonna have the 4 game day Wednesdays anymore. That's the plan, back to 2 game days. Because these student athletes also have classes, they have injury concerns they have to deal with. And when you compress a schedule, there are just so many extraneous variables that can come in and like affect, games and decisions
Wala bang ganun
and players'
last
availability.
year?
I
Na
think
4
kind of.
game.
I mean, also at the same time, it was affected by the FIBA calendar talaga. Like,
Yeah.
Like this season, the FIBA World Cup, going into September. Because even after the World Cup ends, ayusin mo pa yung arena, logistics. The people who are working the FIBA games are also going to work the logistics of the UAP games. So you need to give them time to rest and prepare for the UAP. So to some regard, that's why the schedule was compressed. So hopefully we go back to the normal schedule next season, so that also it doesn't end so fast and you can have room to breathe for more stories, to have the spotlight they deserve, for players to be in top, endurance and health, right? That's all we ask for. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsor Green Blooded, and then we'll be back to talk about Adamson versus UE.
Attention all Animo faithful. UAAP Season 86 has arrived, and it's time for the DLSU Green Archers to reclaim their spot at the pinnacle of UAAP basketball. The battlefield is set and the roar of the crowd awaits. Are you ready to keep the Animo spirit alive? There's no better way to show your unwavering support for the Green Archers than by sporting the finest LaSalle apparel, and that's where Green Blooded comes in. They are your go-to destination for all things green and white, designed with passion and precision to help you stand out in the sea of fans. Ready to gear up for success? Simply visit Green Blooded online to explore their latest collection. Whether you're a student, an alum, or simply a devoted fan, they have something special for everyone. Get ready to cheer the Green Archers back to glory. Let your passion shine through your apparel and fuel the Animo spirit with Green Blooded.
Okay, Nico. So we're back. Saturday night, right? I get home from the LaSalle Ateneo game. It's about 11 something. And I get a call from head coach Jack Santiago of UE. So we're discussing. I gave him a missed call a few hours ago kasi. So I asked him straight up, Coach, there are conversations right now of whether or not bibigay nyo sa laro ba yung Adamson? People are wondering if this is gonna happen. Are you going to let Adamson get the win so they have a chance to make the Final Four? He said straight up, no, we are not. We are going to try to win in honor of our president, President Batad, who verbally resigned, and of our graduating player, Abdul Sawat. He also did say, I will try to give more extended playing time to my seldomly used players. Well, UE stayed true to its word. UE made it so damn competitive against Adamson. They made Adamson work for that victory on Sunday. Funnily enough, before Montebon hits that shot of a lifetime, Jack Cruz Dumont of UE hits his own big shot, right?
I thought that would be it.
Dagger of
Kala
a
ko yun na yun eh.
three-pointer. And I thought that would be the dagger that would like haunt Adamson fans for years and years. Right before the shot, Montebon, who had the defensive assignment on Cruz Dumont, was like, hey, Jack, don't make the shot, okay? Like trying to get in his mind. And Jack told Montebon and was like, I'm going to end you guys' season. This was, by the way, shared by Montebon in the press conference after the game.
Yeah.
Jack Cruz Dumont, to his bloody stayed true to
Made
his
the-
word.
you made the shot.
Made the shot.
Sidestep 3.
Yes, said he was gonna give a dagger to end Adamson's season and actually live up to it. Unfortunately for him, Montebon had one more prayer that day. That game.
Yeah.
I think it was Ethan Galang who might have been guarding Montebon. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check the video. But I
Sawat
think it
ata. Si Sawat ata yung nag-contest.
Yes.
Yeah, it
And
was, I
that
think
was
Sawat.
one hell of a contest, bro. Hindi na ata nakita ni Montebon yung ring. He
Hindi
fell
niya
down after the
nandun
shot.
yung hand ni ano eh.
And I swear, when the shot went up, sobrang taas ng arc because the contest was so good that I thought it was going to be an air ball because the arc was so high. And the way the ball was landing from the corner, I'm like, oh, this is going to be an air ball.
Oh.
And then somehow, as it was going to the rim, it just kept spinning forward.
And then
And then like half a second before that shot went in, I'm like, oh my God. From an
Mukhang
air
papasok.
ball, mukhang sakto to. Mukhang sakto. And
All net yun eh.
true enough, hits nothing but the bottom of the net. The crowd erupts. And I'm not just talking about the
UP
Adamson
crowd
fans.
din. UP crowd.
The UP fans were like all up in their seats cheering for Adamson, screaming their hearts out. It's crazy in the arena, in the MOA arena. It's jubilation. And I'm like, oh my God, Adamson's going to win this. Adamson's going to win this. And they won the game. After the game, Coach Nash Rosella said the right thing. He said, credit to Coach Jack and UE. They did not give the game. This was not part of a script or whatever. They made us work for it. They
They did.
made us win it. They made us have to take the win. And Adamson did that, and they lived to fight another day. And you know what, Nico? When you win a game like that, a game that you literally had to take the victory, that is such an uplifting team for your squad as you enter a very important game.
I have no words, man. I was, some bench ako. I was in the Adamson bench. I was seated right there. Grabe talaga. And I didn't know how to react. Because it was two consecutive. The first one was a potential game winner. And then the shot by Montebon. I've always been a big fan of Monty. I was there when he made that shot against Ateneo nung Phil Oil, that game winner. And I was like, this guy's cold-blooded. This is going to be a good player for the coming years in the UAP. And the legend just keeps on adding to his resume this early in his career. That's a King Falcon right there. That's gonna be the next King Falcon. Maybe for as early as next season, kaya
in
na.
the making. And they have a lot of talented young players. Matty
They do.
Arelon is another solid guy. I think Eli Ramos has slowly been improving.
They are, but Montebon is him.
Yes.
Iba
I
yun,
have
iba.
to shout out Vince Magbuas also. I thought Vince played a solid game.
Oh yeah.
He missed that free throw, but overall he still played a solid game. And Joshua Yero offensively hit or miss, but defensively, he's going to bring the
He's always there,
intensity.
yeah.
So this playoff game on Wednesday, I think Ateneo is the better team, and I think Ateneo is gonna win. But would it shock me if Adamson wins? No.
Ako rin hindi. Kasi they're on a
No.
high. They're on a high.
Yeah, and look, after the game against LaSalle, Coach Tab Baldwin very complimentary of Topex and the way he plays matchups and how he's a good coach. And he also said, and given everything that's gone down between the comments of Coach Tab and Coach Nash, Coach Tab did say, to his credit, Coach Nash is a great coach when it comes to finding and attacking matchups, playing the matchup game, playing chess, the game of basketball chess when you're in the contest, right? The game in the game that not all of us see, even us media people, we don't always see what goes on, right? With the coaching staff and how they're looking at each other down the court, trying to anticipate each other's plays. And he said Coach Nash is a great coach. And he is right, because Coach Nash has been in so many of these situations, right? Coach Nash has led FU to a championship. He's been in the Final Four. He's faced Coach Tab as an underdog multiple times. And now he's going to get the chance to give Adamson, his community, another incredible win potentially to remember. But it's not going to be easy because, like I said, I think Ateneo is playing their best basketball of the season right now. I really do. I think Kai Balungay is being aggressive when it comes to the offensive rebounding glass again and scoring near the ring. I like how he's trying to attack more in the post rather than settling for jumpers. I like how Obasa's confidence looks like it's at an all-time high.
Parang Ateneo is playing through Obasa nga eh.
I
The
like,
past few
yes,
games.
I like that they're trusting Brown more than they are Espinosa at this point. I like that Jason Credo is coming in and contributing in small spurts. Look, I don't think Mason Amos is as bad a defender as people think he is. He knows there are areas he needs to improve on. I think Mason can still change the game with his shooting alone. There were so many times in that LaSalle game where his shooting brought Ateneo back. That 4-point play in the
And
first half.
silence the green
3-point,
crowd.
yes, exactly. Oh, the 4-point play I think might have been in the second half. If not, yeah, second half. But he hit 2 3-pointers in the first half. Like I said, a lot of UAP teams like playing zone defense nowadays.
Mm.
But when you have him spreading the floor, it's easier to break that zone defense because of his shooting ability. And I also still think that he can score inside too once in a while. But he's
He
playing
can.
he's
Nagpo-post up siya
playing
minsan, di ba?
yeah, he's playing less than 20 minutes a game though. I mean, look, the minutes right now, that Ateneo Lasal game yesterday, he
12
played
lang? 12?
yeah, he played 12 out of 40 minutes. And he was a plus 11 in those 12 minutes.
Then again, iba yung
Yeah, I mean, look,
metrics ni
plus
Coach Tab eh. Tayo as
yes, yes,
fans.
yes. Like plus minus isn't also always
Yeah.
the most reliable stat when it comes to determining impact, right? Like for example, Evan Nelly was a -1, but then
That doesn't, yeah.
when you watch how Nelly played, you knew he was integral to the team. But I still think Mason, if you give him an extended run, he can make an impact on this team. It's just maybe right now Ateneo is just putting their trust more in players who defensively. That's again not to say that Mason's a bad defender, because I don't think he's a bad defender. I think that Ateneo has other players who defensively are better than him. And I think that's what Coach Tab is trying to trust more right now. But look, real talk, Nico, if Mason was playing for any other UAP team, how many minutes is he getting per game?
27 to 30.
Easily.
Minimum.
Right?
Minimum.
Easily. Like if you put him right now,
Bagay siya sa Adamson if you think about it.
Exactly.
Bagay siya sa
Okay, let's say
Adamson.
hypothetically you put him in Adamson right now. How many
30
minutes is
easy. Isasagad
probably
ni
like
Coach Nash yan.
27 to
Isasagad
30.
to
Yeah,
the ground.
and he's probably averaging like 18 points, like 6, 7 rebounds, like a few 3-pointers.
And he's gonna be one of their tallest guys as well. Adamson isn't that big, right?
Exactly.
They're
Yeah,
not that
Adamson
big.
could use that size. But anyway,
Mm.
so we'll see. Maybe Mason is unlocked in the Final Four in this game against Adamson.
Baka may tinatago.
He's always been super. He's still clutch. Like
Very, really, super clutch.
When Ateneo was down 3 and then they inserted Mason for that possession, you felt the fear from the LaSalle crowd after
Lasal, they
Aneta.
were quiet.
You're like, oh, yan, bantayan nyo yan. You know,
They
like
stopped cheering.
yeah, they were like, oh my god. And there's that fear factor right now. KQ did a good job preventing him from getting a clean inbound pass, and Brown ended up taking the 3 and missing it, and LaSalle ended up winning the game. But look, Mason, even if he's not playing a lot of minutes, even if there are some criticisms from certain people about his defense, he's still as dangerous as it gets in those clutch situations.
I want to see more of Mason, man. Like, kailangan kasi offense ng Ateneo minsan tends to stall. Like, okay, like for me, you can sacrifice some of the defense, but as long as we could get the offense running, I
Yeah.
don't mind giving a few points. But then again, they run that Ateneo team differently with how we think. But for me, I need more
Correct.
offense. Like, there were times na nagsabay si Sean and Lazaro. I was like, where's the offense gonna come from in this lineup? Kasi ang hirap eh. Like, where is it gonna come from? It's some, and then you see they were stagnant whenever there are two defensive. I mean, they're amazing defensive players, right? But where are you gonna get the points? Or who's gonna run our offense? Especially when Kai Balungay sat down when he got a cut in his nose.
Yeah.
Diba? So parang
yeah, and
we could have put Mason instead, but
by the way,
I don't know.
just wanted to share Joseph Obasa in the game against LaSalle. 21 points, 8 out of 10 from the field, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks. The
Wala akong masasabi kay Joe.
only blemish were the 5 turnovers, and that's still the area where he needs to improve kasi he still travels in the post once in a while. He tends to get the ball stripped once in a while too. Coach
By
Tab,
Raven. Raven knows the move.
exactly. Coach Tab did say he liked how smart his team was playing when they were trailing to get back in the game.
Yeah.
And he also did say that they missed a lot of makeable shots near the rim in the first half that could have really allowed them to maybe build a lead or not let LaSalle pull away in the second half. I do think Ateneo is playing their best basketball of the season. I think this team is coming together. The Mason part of it, I'm really curious why. What's just, the factor there is Coach Tab said straight up right now, it's the defense. And that tells me that Tab is leaning towards the players he trusts the most on the defensive end right now. But I still do think that Ateneo is a dangerous team.
They are. We're not gonna take that away from them.
Yeah, if they beat Adamson, it means they're going to have a Final Four series with UP, and they've played UP really tight so far in 2 games. Both
Just
teams have
imagine how
played against each
crazy
other.
the crowds would be in that
Oh.
one. Very hostile. Iba yung hostility ng UP na Ateneo.
Oh my God, it's different. Yeah,
Iba.
social media in the arena.
Group chat pa lang natin eh.
Yeah, and ironically, it's going to be the 2 p.m. game. It would be the 2 p.m.
Which
game
one?
on Saturday. 4 versus 1. Adamson UP or Ateneo UP. It would be the 2 p.m. game.
Saturday agad yung Wednesday game?
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday yung Final Four.
So ibig sabihin yung LaSalle sa Sunday maglalaro.
No. Both are Saturday.
So walang Sunday games?
Wala. Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Well, going to be a fun Final Four, it seems like. Now, also want to mention that looks like Kevin Kimbao is going to win the UAP MVP. That's going to be probably
When's the
announced sometime
coronation?
soon. And it looks like Francis Lopez is going to be named Rookie of the Year after Precious Mumaway.
Sayang si Precious. This is a big lead. He
know,
was far and away the Rookie of the Year.
And he was playing great too. He really made UE a better team this
He's
season.
like a raw Malik the way he's playing.
To some degree, yeah. And he has 4 more years of eligibility
Yun
after
nga
the
eh.
season.
Yun
He's
nga eh.
young. He's like 18. So there's still so much room to grow for this guy. He had like what, 15, 11, 6 today, something like that.
And that's an off game pa. Off game pa nga yung kanina eh. Considering he came from an injury scare.
Exactly. And
Mag-MRI daw bukas eh. Kasi parang they couldn't determine a while ago. So that's why I messaged him, sabi niya, I'm gonna get an MRI tomorrow just to be sure.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully it's clean.
Hopefully it's clean. We're hoping for the best. And let's see what happens with UE because I think there's some recruits that they're trying to work on to bring in. Coach Jack told me that he's trying to bring in some new recruits. Nah, not yet. I don't know the details myself to be specific.
Okay.
And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. So before we get to talk about UP, a quick word from our sponsor, Get Blue.
Calling all Ateneo fans. UAAP Season 86 is upon us, and the roar of the crowd is about to fill the air as the Blue Eagles gear up to defend their throne. Are you ready to be the 6th man and fuel their journey to victory to keep the crown in Loyola Heights? We know you bleed blue, and now it's the time to show it with pride. Get Blue is here to help you do just that. The brand new collection of Ateneo gear is hotter than ever, and it's the perfect way to display your unwavering support for Team Ateneo. Let your wardrobe do the talking this UAAP season. Wear your pride, stand with the Blue Eagles, and be part of the winning tradition. Don't miss out on the excitement. Join the Ateneo community in cheering for victory. Get ready to soar with the Blue Eagles and get blue.
Okay, Nico, here's what was something that I thought about when UP cerebrally beat NU. You remember those years when there would be those UAP contenders where at a certain point their games would be kind of like, not super duper exciting just because they were playing so well and playing with such a great rhythm. And when you would look at the stat sheet, you wouldn't even see particular individuals have crazy stat lines because the team as a collective played so well that the stats, the distribution of points, rebounds, assists, everything was spread out. UP is
Kanina.
starting to play like that, and that's how they played against NU,
Kanina.
right?
And actually, most of their games ganun. Walang nagsa-stand out. Si Malik na yung
Exactly.
nagsa-stand out.
Yeah, and in the post-game press conference, no rah 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 from like Coach Gold or Malik or CJ. It was like very business demeanor, like
Parang
very
trabaho lang.
professional. Parang, yeah, we're number one. That's great, but we're just trying to work hard. We're gonna face maybe Ateneo and you. The question was thrown up there for Coach Gold. What it would be like if you could potentially face Ateneo or Adamson in the 4 versus 1 battle? And he's
Stoic.
like, well, it's about what we can do as a team, what we can continue to improve on. So they're
Very
saying the
PR
right,
friendly.
not no, yeah, that, but also the messaging has been consistent all season long, and they have been the most consistent team all season long. They stayed on top of the standings from start to finish, right? They have been on both sides of the floor the most consistent squad. They
Actually,
they
they have
have the
been really
best rim
consistent.
protector in the UAP, in my opinion. I think Malik the best defensive player in the UAP. They have a lot of depth when they
Sa
get out in the
underrated
fast
perimeter
break,
defender, si Malik.
and
Sa
an
passing lanes,
underrated
grabe.
passer. Yeah, the way he can push
Oo,
in transition,
isa pa
it's
yan.
exactly. And when they get out to an early lead, mahirap humabol sa
Wala
kanila.
na. Might as well
Yeah,
like,
and Nico,
tulog na.
this coaching staff every night, even after game days, they prepare like crazy. When I say prepare like crazy, I mean they have 4 5 hour film viewing sessions till like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Sometimes pag Final Four, sobrang late yan. They go home, they sleep, they wake up the next day, get
Back
back
to
to work,
practice.
watch film kaagad, get their teams to practice, work on so many areas. And they have veteran assistant coaches. We talk so much about UP's talent and UP, the recruits that they have, and how they have Malik and Kakulangan and Cancino and Alarcon. And of course, those guys, what they do is very important. But at the same time, too, the preparation of this coaching staff that has been together for so long. A coaching staff that has been together since they were in Shanghai Shek, before they even got to the UAP Juniors Division, with assistant coach Tom Chua and with Coach Goldwyn Monteverde and also Coach Pochwinio, who's been with UP for a long time. And all the assistant coaches they've brought in over the years. Coach Pat of Better Basketball, the skills coach, right?
Mm.
They have worked so well together as a staff to prepare this team, to put them in position to win. And that right now might be the strongest trait of this UP team. The way they stay level-headed and the way the coaching staff prepares them. And you can see it. You saw it in the first quarter today against NU. They started that game in a mission to to establish themselves right away, to build a lead, and they did not look back the rest of the way.
Man, that has the feels of a dynasty in the making. With the way that they have set everything up from the foundation. Yun delikado eh. It has the makings of a three-peat, four-peat kind of team. So it's a matter of execution na lang at the end of the day and staying level-headed, which they're doing incredibly well as well. So scary times for the UAP when it comes to UP.
Scary times indeed. Dynasty in the making. We'll see
Kaya. Kaya, especially
Kaya,
the way they've
potential
been
is there.
recruiting as well. Like, let's not forget that. Like, not
But
only they
but
prepare well, they're preparing for the future. Let's not forget Bahay is coming next season, di ba? Di ba?
he's not the only one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, madami pa naman. Siya lang yung pinaka, like,
eh,
naalala ko in this
yeah,
moment.
yeah, meron pang iba.
Sino?
Okay, that's a
Gani
conversation for
Stevens,
another day.
we know.
Yeah, I'm talking about players who's hasn't been
Mm-mm.
announced yet.
Naku. Offline,
Anyways,
offline. And then in person na lang. Para safe.
nothing's confirmed yet though, you know.
Hindi, in person
Nothing's
nga.
confirmed.
Hindi na natin ano
Okay,
hindi.
okay,
In
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
person,
no, I
yun
meant
yung
like
mga...
what the recruits that they're working on, nothing confirmed yet.
Okay, okay,
But of
okay.
course, recruitment is, always something that teams do to, load their teams up. So, finals prediction. Give me the roadmap to the finals for you. Who do you think wins the playoff? And who do you think wins the Final Four series? And what will be our finals matchup?
Okay, so we're doing this again, huh? Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
ako
are.
mauna.
We
So
are.
ako mauna. Ateneo beats Adamson on Wednesday. Ateneo makes it. So, okay. So, Final Four, UP, Ateneo, LaSalle, and U. UP in 3. In 3, right? Yeah.
Two,
No,
you
no, no.
mean?
UP in 2. UP in 2 against Ateneo because of just how dominant they have been. Ateneo's gonna surprise them in game 1. Pero, but in game 2, it's still gonna be close. But that's where UP will show their depth and talent. While I feel like LaSalle will beat NU as a statement na from game 1, it only takes one. We're in the finals after that. So it's gonna be UP, the LSU in the finals. LaSalle in
I
2
Sa
in the
finals? Yan
finals.
yung prediction mo?
LaSalle in 2.
Oh. Well, I wasn't gonna make us do the finals predictions yet, but
You
you know
said
what?
finals.
I said
You
road to the
said
finals.
oo nga. So,
So
I
getting to
thought
the finals no, but I like that you're on the record with
sige,
your
ikaw na
prediction.
rin. Suklian mo
No,
na
no.
rin ako like
Hindi ko pa ready. Hindi pa ako ready sa
gago
finals
talaga to.
prediction ko.
Iniipit na naman.
No, okay. Let's do the final four
Okay,
first.
fine. Okay.
Okay,
May utang ka sa akin. May utang ka sa akin.
yes, that's true. I think Ateneo beats Adamson in the playoff.
Yeah, okay.
I think UP and LaSalle win their final four series in the first game. I think both of them win the first game. I think we
Okay.
finally get that UP LaSalle finals this season.
I mean, a rematch of the Phil Oil thingy, but iba pa rin ang UAAP, of course.
Yep. And by the way, some players in that LaSalle roster remember that Phil Oil finals loss. Huh? Some of them have it
Sa Phil Oil,
in the
they
back
know.
of their minds. Now, it's not their motivation, but then they're not happy that they didn't complete that sweep of the Phil Oil, and they felt that UP, they felt that UP
That was
beat
the
them.
Mark Belmonte game.
Yes, exactly.
Diba?
Belmonte was great in that Phil Oil final. A lot of the UP players were great, and LaSalle's 3-point shooting abandoned them in that game.
Yeah.
But some of the players of LaSalle remember that finals loss to UP in Phil Oil and felt like they let that one slip away, the championship which they thought should have been theirs. But we'll see. Before we even think about the UP LaSalle finals, there's still a final four. Although you and I are on the record with that being our prediction. All right, so
I missed the vlogs of Coach Topex. I missed the vlogs. Did you
Yeah,
ever
I
ask him why he
know.
stopped it was in the mid?
Actually, the guy doing those videos was the
nga.
Ice Visuals.
Yeah, he's in our group chat, right?
Yeah, I think he was in the old one, but the Ice Visuals. And I talked to him a few weeks ago, but I think he got busy and I guess things didn't happen. That's why the videos and also they wouldn't have been allowed to post, on-court action anyway.
Yeah, mapapagalitan
They
sila.
wouldn't have
I
been
mean,
allowed, yeah.
tayo nga
Exactly.
na
Like
ano na lali na.
I don't think they were even allowed to do that for D-League as well. Yeah. So
parang na-halt talaga.
yeah, exactly. And it's
Sayang.
tough
It was
because
fun.
those videos
It's
were
fun.
so nice.
Kaya gusto ko
So nice,
LaSalle, like, I
Yeah.
kinda like LaSalle more because of those videos. Kasi parang it's like
yeah,
a sneak peek.
Exactly.
BTS.
Yeah, shout out to Ice Visuals. All right, before we
Yeah.
go, let's do an episode of Life Corner. Nico, you got a
Ano
story
ba?
for me?
We just had that When's the last time we recorded? Last week ba
Few
yun?
days ago.
Dude, it felt like we just recorded yesterday. Not much for me. It's ano nga ba? Nothing much. For me, the big life update was the NLEX thingy.
Yeah.
maybe another one is maybe just the life corner is I'm getting to host a wedding. So parang I'm getting into that hosting kind of life, trying to get into that world. So I'm a bit nervous since it's a wedding. I've never hosted a wedding. I've hosted debuts, but wedding not yet. So it's like, how would I tackle this? How will I get the crowd engaged throughout this time and make sure the mood is perfect for the couple? So yeah, yun lang naman. It's more of a like it's something na outside sports, right?
Yes, sir.
Yung
And
pag-host
and
ng
it's
ganito. So
love. It's great. You gotta
yeah,
love the
exactly. But
love.
it's a matter. It's just me thinking na okay, how do I tackle this? How do I make it a wedding they won't forget? So yun lang naman. That's for me. So if you wanna hire me,
You're gonna do
message me
great.
lang.
Yeah, guys, hire Nico for your hosting needs. Saan yung wedding and
Yeah,
when and where is the wedding?
Grand Hyatt next Sunday.
Woo!
Madaming tao. Madaming
Hayat.
tao. Tao ko to. So I go, fuck! Dami ah.
You're gonna do great, pare. You're gonna do great. And buti na lang
Thank
walang
you.
UAP that night, right? Because it's a
Yeah,
Sunday.
exactly. Kaya
Di ba?
tinatanong ko sa'yo like, wala bang Sunday? Wala. Di great. I won't check during my downtime. But this is what the score is.
Exactly. All right. So my life corner, I had a pretty crazy weekend, I think, because of work, but also because of social stuff. So Friday night was my best friend from college's bachelor party. Lin
Mm.
John, my guy, huge LaSalle fan as well. So, we're planning the whole week, what to do. Airbnb ba tayo? Are we going to bar hop, go to a restaurant? We finally decide we're gonna get a private room sa Frazzled Cook in Tomas Morato. Great place, great food. Get a private room. So then we're a group of four, right? Us friends. And my friend Lin John gets there. And he's like, okay, so what's the plan for the night? I'm like, so we're first gonna eat sa Frazzled Cook, bro. We're gonna have dinner sa Frazzled Cook. He's like, di ba parang family place yun? I'm like, to some degree, yeah. But we'll make it a bachelor party vibe-ish
Sa
before we
Frazzled Cook,
start.
okay sa lahat ng places, doon talaga.
Yes, sir. And then, so my other friends arrive and they're bringing the cake. So my friend who's having his bachelor's party, excited na siya. He's like, oh, king cakes ba yan? My naked girl ba sa cake na yan? Is it going to be some kind of, bachelor party themed cake? You know how
Yeah,
it
kasi
is, di ba?
bachelor party, so
Yeah.
walang
Yeah.
limit yan.
So our other friend who organized the cake, and by the way, the cake was from a place called Estelle's, which was pretty good, I have to say.
Estrel, you mean?
Estrel, yes, Estrel. So a lot,
Estrel, caramel.
yeah, yes, caramel cake. So binukas niya, and it was something my friend called a tita cake. Yung may mga flowers all
Yeah, it's
over the cake.
Estrels, tapos it's in
Exactly.
curvature.
Yeah, exactly. So flowers all over the place. And my
Dude, ang
one
sarap ng Estrels. Hindi ka ba nakatikman ng Estrels?
it was good for me, but I'm more of a purple oven guy. I'm not saying it wasn't good. It was yummy because I like
Dapat
caramel.
dapat yung pala binigay ko sa'yo nung birthday mo. Nakalimutan ko mag...
No, it's okay. So,
Anyway, go ahead.
So, binukas niya yung cake and puro flowers all over it.
Okay.
And he's looking like that, like, kasi expectation yan, naked lady, king cakes, bachelor party vibe.
Oh.
And my one friend who organized the bringing of the cake, tumatawa siya. He's like, you get it? It's funny because it's a tita cake and you're having your bachelor's party. And we all look at him like, what?
It doesn't make sense. Nakainom siguro heading into Frazzled Cook.
Not even that. He just thought it would legit be funny that it would be what he called a tita cake with flowers all over it.
That's a very wholesome friend to have.
He's a very nice guy, to be fair.
Kaya gano'n. His humor is like that.
But lesson here, the moral of the story is, when you are organizing a cake for your friend's bachelor's party, do not ask the nicest guy in the group to organize it.
Dapat ikaw na
Probably
lang yan.
not.
Kung ikaw, ano dadalhin mo?
Bro, you know what I would bring. But I was in charge of planning the rest of, well, not in charge, but,
So parang ano ka
plan
lang?
the rest of the night. So
invite ka lang. Wala kang help sa pag-organize.
No. We're super close. I organized the drinking part of it after.
Okay.
So after Frazzle Cook, we bar hop in Tomas Morato. We go to a place called Recraft. They had this bartender from Taiwan for the night, special
Recraft,
cocktail
okay.
menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we made friends with the bartender, joke time. We ordered drinks. He kept giving us free shots. Yung friend ko who was having his
Yun
bachelor's
yung,
party,
that's
yeah,
how you get
he
free shots no? Like, yung
exactly.
kaibiganin mo yung
Yes. The
bartender.
best way to get free shots. Always make friends with the bartender. My friend was having his bachelor's party, got the bottle, told the bartender, open your mouth, and he started pouring the tequila, the
Ayun yung
rum.
photo na pinakita mo sa akin.
Exactly. It was a wild night. We just kept bar hopping through the night. At a certain point, yung friend ko who was, maybe a little tipsy na, post in the middle of the street. We took
The
some
best
funny
yun.
pictures.
Sabi
Yeah,
ko, what the hell am I
I
seeing?
know. So we ended at like 4 o'clock. I got home at like 4:35, and then I wake up the next day, get ready
Di ba
kaagad.
nagtaka-wife mo? Wala. Ano sa
No,
asawa mo?
she knew. She
She
knew
knew.
I had the bachelor's party night, and she already knew I would come home late. So she's like, you know what? Go have fun.
Just don't
Have
wake
fun
me
with
up.
your boys. Yeah. So we got home. I got home that night at like 4. I slept for a few hours. Woke up, got ready right away. Went to the game, and I was gonna watch the Salle Ateneo game. When my friend was celebrating his bachelor's party, and some of my high school friends who ended up going to Ateneo for college. So we had some LaSalle Ateneo, vibes there while we were watching. Tanong ko sa kaibigan ko, and my friend who was having his bachelor's party had a 9 a.m. meeting the day after his party.
So parang mga 4 hours
I
lang yung
know.
tulog niya.
So,
Or 3 kasi he
bro,
has to wake up pa.
hindi siya natulog. Hindi siya
Nilaban niya
natulog.
na lang.
He
Nilaban niya
went
na lang.
home, stayed up, went to his meeting. Right after his meeting, pumunta siyang gateway at like 12 noon. Ateneo Lasal games at 6 p.m. Natulog na lang daw siya muna sa parking lot.
Because of parking ba? Kaya maaga siya pumunta like 12, 1.
Wala lang. Sabi niya, pupunta na lang ako. Compared to like,
Wow!
I
Buti
know,
nagising
yeah.
siya. Nagising siya to
Hindi
like,
siya
oh, yeah,
natulog
gonna-
yeah. Anyway, so, watch the game. He's from LaSalle. Diehard LaSalle fan siya. And nanalo LaSalle, so he was in a good mood. We had dinner after. Had a few more drinks again, and then went home. And then I wrote my article, and I slept at 5 a.m. again because I was working till like 5 a.m. to finish my article. And then went to the games today. And yeah, that's just, it brought me back to those old days when I was just freshly graduated out of college. And I would go out with my friends, go to work in the weekends. Now that I'm older, I thought I wouldn't have the bandwidth to do that. But it's nice to know that sometimes, once in a while,
Kaya
I
mo pa.
can have my old man bringing back the old days moments. So it was a fun weekend. I just wanted to share that story to shout out Len John, one of my best friends from college. Congratulations. You are about to get married in a few weeks. And I'm super excited. I'm glad
It's a
we had a
prestigious
great
club to
bachelor's
be in.
party
It's a
night.
prestigious club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy wife, happy life, everybody. That's the truth of it.
Yan ang Life Corner update.
For sure. Fun night. Anyway, Nico, thanks for joining me, bro. Thanks to the listeners. Thank you to our sponsors, Cleaning Coach, Green Blooded Get Blued. Thank you to everyone who's been watching the podcast. We've been doing great numbers recently. I know all of you are watching just to see Nico's handsome face. So I appreciate y'all for listening to me as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Nav, and of course those who are watching the podcast for sure. And nakakatawa yung mga nagko-comment, no? Like I read them sometimes. Like, really people are really engaged. Like they really reach the end part because they're talking about topics that we talked about mga 40, 50 minutes beyond. So it's really great to know that you're listening to all of this.
For sure, for sure. And if you guys aren't doing anything, sometimes also catch Nico's podcast and check out Nico's TikTok. Always posting great content there.
Yes, sir. Just type Nico Rocha. That's it.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Nico, appreciate you. See you at the games. Best of luck.
See you
with
Wednesday.
Your hosting. See you Wednesday. Yes, sir. See y'all,
One big
everybody.
fight.
Peace out.